Welcome to the new Haverlock Hunters intermission. The live stream will resume shortly. In the meantime, please enjoy this treatise on the Merrowyne by Elias Sabason. The frog people of Shelter Pond have been our amiable partners in trade since before the Imperial Kingship War. But their presence was not commonplace on the continent until 100 years or so ago. The continental Merrowyne population live in sheltered communes that dot the port cities of southern Augustrad, such as Lachton, Three Fingers, and Moat Rest. But the largest commune is undoubtedly in the Salt Pans district of New Haverlock, where they outnumber the district's humane population by at least 3 to 1. This imbalance has led to some rather dicey politics inside the Salt Pans, where the Merrowyne, who are known to vote often and in unison, have managed to repeatedly elect Grockrack Brown to represent the district. Immediately following his first election, Hummanes brought suit against Brown for ignoring issues brought by the non-Merrowyne community and for being much less wealthy, and therefore less fit to serve, than many other humane traders who make their home in the Pans. Such suits have all failed, having been voted down by the same coalition of Merrowyne voters that put Brown into power in the first place. The grumbling persists, but the Hummanes have all but accepted their situation. I can say with some certainty that anyone who has spent time with the frog people has noticed the peculiar bond they all share. Inside their densely packed communes, I have seen Merrowyne regard complete strangers with a fondness that would rival close family in any of the other known sapient species. When questioned about this strange ritual familiarity, the Merrowyne frequently stare at me, blinking one eye at a time, as if I were the absurd one for asking such a question. As such, neither I, nor my colleagues at the Academy, have ever made the acquaintance of a Merrowyne that does not live in close proximity to their kin, barring, of course, those that live at sea, or have been sentenced to a most severe punishment in their society, banishment. The source of the Merrowyne's unique bond is up for debate, with some scholars insisting that the Merrowyne are simply too stupid, or too blind, to tell the difference between siblings and strangers. I have a different hypothesis. I believe that the Merrowyne's strange familial structure is to blame. More about that later. Describing the shape of Merrowyne life is difficult. While the frog people might adopt certain fashions and participate in local government, there is a resistance to what any reasonable person would call genuine assimilation. But if I struggle to capture the whole of the Merrowyne, I can at least recall the common details of the communes that I've been to. The air is heavy and damp, yet so salty as to chap the lips and sting the eyes. Every surface inside or out is dark with wet and slimy to the touch. From what I understand, these brackish conditions keep the Merrowyne juicy and plump. The docks are either in view or just around the corner. Every home is an overly constructed tenement, with humorous additions sticking out in every direction. The Merrowyne sleep one to a room, but this includes the bathrooms, halls, and kitchens. The beds are most often troughs or tubs and the food is always protein. Merrowyne are fond of fish, mice, and eggs, especially if they're pickled. The family structure I alluded to previously is also rather peculiar. The role of each Merrowyne is defined by their age. When they are first born, the diminutive tads make humane infants look able-bodied and ferocious. But after 1 year the tads are able to move about on land, and after 2 years they look every bit a frog person in miniature. These froglings are considered fully grown and schooled by 7 years, at which point they will go on to receive specialized tutoring, or else be put to work on the docks. The choice depends on what the elders believe is best for each frogling and the commune as a whole. At 13 the Merrowyne are assigned brood mates. Breeding is unceremonious, with neither parent ever meeting their offspring. The fertilized eggs, like the tads and froglings, are looked over by the commune's elders. If the breeding process was fruitful, the same Merrowyne may be required to mate again every year until they turn 20. At 25 a Merrowyne is considered an elder. Their duties go from traditional labor to rearing and guiding the younger generations. This rigid system is what I believe gives Merrowyne their closeness. Each frog is raised by the community, and so they see the community as their family, full stop. A strange custom, to be sure, and one that severely inhibits the growth of individuality, but it is certainly not without merit. In my weaker moments, I sometimes find myself envying the efficiency and discipline of frog society. But then I remember the smell. The end. Thank you for your patience and attention. The live stream or another informational intermission video will begin shortly.